When did things stop being fun? Was it in 2013? I mean, that's when GTA 5 dropped, and that sure felt like fun. Or maybe it was 2016, you know, when the world went a bit... never mind. But Avengers Endgame was in 2019, and the feelings from those midnight releases will never be forgotten, but yet somehow feel a lifetime away. No, maybe I'm just getting older. Nostalgia bias creeping up in my mid-20s, begging me to reminisce over the most obscure web games, spending hours finding the original, and subsequently hours more playing, sacrificing much needed sleep. Thank you, Pokemon creator. That same voice convincing me that a concept album about losing £1,000 down the back of the TV released in 2002 cannot and will not be topped by any music to follow it. Whatever it is, here at FilmFix, we've noticed a shift, with CGI looking more like a video game cutscene, scripts that feel thrown together, and characters shoehorned into roles for PR over purpose. The whole scene has changed. But before we dive into being grumpy old folks, let's take a step back and see, if anything, what really has shifted and when things just stopped hitting the same. Now, I could show you this, or this, or this, and we could all sit and get those small hits of dopamine we picked up in an alley somewhere, on memory lane. But that would be too easy. Hyper-focusing on the things that amazed us as children might not be particularly useful to the conversation at hand, so let's start off with our speciality and take a look to the movie and entertainment industry. I was a very clumsy kid, and subsequently I don't seem to remember much of my life pre-7 to 8 years old. But one of my earliest vivid memories is going to watch Monsters, Inc. in the cinema with my family. Phenomenal. We all have our favorite parts, but a 5-year-old me was absolutely obsessed with Randall changing colors as Boo bonked him on the skull. Now there is obvious nostalgia bias there, but the love and feelings I attribute to that experience isn't the part that sticks out for me on this topic, but rather the concept itself. That 92-minute big screen masterpiece was made for that moment. It wasn't to be seen elsewhere, it wasn't to be clipped up in search of virality, and it wasn't a guaranteed hit. It genuinely had to be good. These things matter in an era where the worldwide average weekly video consumption is a staggering 17 hours a week, all split across thousands of topics, from groundbreaking news, new TV series, web series, YouTube videos, TikToks, Reels, and so on. How does one captivate an audience beyond the current fast food style digestion culture we find ourselves in? To play devil's advocate, I really enjoyed the latest season of House of the Dragon. In fact, if it maintains its current standard, it has the chance of surpassing Game of Thrones', let's say, interesting legacy. However, I'm pretty sure I was anticipating and likely frustrated at the assumed wait for season 3 before the credits of the season 2 finale had even finished rolling. My point? We as consumers are part of the problem. Has it basically been forced upon us by bad actors with military-grade technology, using illegally harvested data to micro-target short-form content with the specific goal of cooking our attention spans in a permanent air fryer whilst dividing us? Yes. Definitely. But that's a whole different conversation. My point is, as the creator in the world of film, how do you find that balance between your artistic image in its entirety and the ever-present dominance short-form social media has on pop culture? So does that mean it is really worse? Or do we just appreciate things differently? And actually, it's nobody's fault. Films are still generally fantastic, and we are just a little bit more simple than 15 years ago. Sorry, Hollywood, not quite. Sure, we're definitely harder to please, and part of that is testament to the brilliance of the past, but you've also been pumping millions and millions of pounds into this, and this, and this. Now, I won't pretend the past didn't have its this, and this, but technology is better than ever. Budgets are bigger than ever, actors are paid more, directors are paid more, shareholders are certainly paid more, but relatively the writers aren't, the animators aren't. Sure, we think of Robert Downey Jr. when we think of Iron Man, but you know what we think of first? Iron Man's suit. With the rise of tech, in typical capitalistic fashion, those who don't understand the work put in want to see faster results at a lower cost. Trimming outdated steps and practices isn't always a bad thing, but as soon as pushed past the point of efficiency, it is always the quality that will suffer. In a world of ever-growing accessibility and seemingly a decline in quality to match the production needed for today's mass consumption, it's almost as if it's inevitable these two things would reach a boiling point. And although I don't think we're there yet, I'm struggling to see the culture swerving to avoid that collision. So yes, in fact, we are getting older, and yes, we might reminisce a bit too much, but things, or at least the way we experienced those things, was better. At least in my opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think, and let me know if you'd like me to continue this series. For Daily Shorts, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.